At this time, I'll call this meeting to order. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Here.
Freeholder Estrada.
Present.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Here.
Freeholder Hudak.
Present.
Freeholder Jallo.
Here.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Present.
Freeholder Williams.
Here.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Here.
And Chairman Granados.
Here.
Chairman, you have 9 freeholders present.
Thank you very much. Clerk of the board, please lead us in the prayer and salute to the flag.
Humbly we ask God, the giver of peace and the lover of charity, to give the entire family of nations true agreement with his will, to grant the light of the Spirit on all who work for justice and peace. Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk of the board, please read the statement of compliance with Open Public Meetings Act.
Chair wishes to announce that pursuant to the requirements of New Jersey statutes annotated, Title 10, Chapter 4, Section 10 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Chosen Freeholders of the County of Union has been given by mailing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018, along with periodic changes necessitated by circumstances to the newspapers circulating within the County of Union who are designated to receive such notice, and by posting the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 in the Administration Building, and further by filing the annual meeting schedule for the year 2018 with the Office of the County Clerk.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion to approve the communications?
So moved.
May I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Vice Chair Kowalski, seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
And Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. Tonight, we have an ordinance for first reading. Clerk of the board, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 798-2018, an ordinance to amend Part 1, the Union County Administrative Code, Chapter 1, Union County Government Structure, Article 14, Department of Finance, Article 16, Department of Human Services, Article 19, Department of Engineering, Public Works and Facilities, and Article 20, Department of Corrections, Article 24, Department of Economic Development, Part 2, Administrative Legislation, Chapter 79, Land Development.
Thank you very much. Freeholder Hudak, would you please move ordinance 798-2018 for first reading?
Thank you, Chairman. I move ordinance number 798-2018 for first reading and authorize the clerk of the board to advertise same in accordance with the law. The public hearing and final reading will be held on October the 11th, 2018.
Second.
Motion was made by Freeholder Hudak, seconded by Vice Chair Kowalski. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
And Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you. We have another ordinance for first reading. Clerk of the board, please read the ordinance by title.
Ordinance number 799-2018, an ordinance to amend ordinance number 506-99, entitled, "An Ordinance Establishing Land Development Standards for the County of Union," adopted by the Union County Board of Chosen Freeholders on September 9, 1999.
Thank you very much. Vice Chair Kowalski, would you please move ordinance 799-2018 for first reading?
Yes, so moved, Chairman. And public hearing and final reading will be held on October 11th, 2018.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Motion was made by Vice Chair Kowalski, seconded by Freeholder Mirabella. Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye.
Freeholder Mirabella.
Aye.
Freeholder Williams.
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski.
Yes.
Chairman Granados.
Aye.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative.
Thank you very much. The meeting is now open to the public for purpose on commenting on resolutions being offered for adoption only. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record, and the resolution to which you're referring to, and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Yeah, John Berry of Kenilworth. And it's all on this 841, the juvenile detention closing. I just have a few quick questions. First, how many employees are there at the center now? And would they all be laid off? Or if not, how many of the employees there would be laid off or not found somewhere else? The other thing is, I don't know if I read the chart wrong, I don't remember. How many juveniles are detained there on a daily basis? I don't know, it seems to say 16, which seems really low. But what is the average head count there, or now, currently? And how many juveniles are there in Essex County? Basically, I'm just wondering if Essex County is going to have to expand, or if they have excess capacity to pick up, Union County's juveniles. And then on the contract itself, it says there's no minimum, but is there a maximum that Essex County will accept from Union County? And then there's renewal, 5 years, and then it's renewal by option, somebody's option. Whose option is that? Is that Union County that can renew, or is it Essex County, or both, or some? I mean, who exercises the option? And the last thing is that $217.41 per, I guess it's per day, per juvenile. Is that going to be the price for all 10 years, or is that negotiable, or is that going to be, is that set as it stands now?
2% increase.
That's it.
Just for the amount of juveniles within the Union County facility, it's currently 11, and in Essex County is 63, based off of yesterday. Okay, County Manager, you have anything you want to add?
The contract is 5 years with a 5-year renewal, and it's mutual. Essex County and Union County could opt in or opt out in 5 years. The maximum capacity of the Essex County facility is 242 detainees, so there is no minimum or maximum, but there's only 242 beds. So, and the contract is a 2% increase per year.
Any other member of the public wishing to comment on the resolution?
Good evening, Chair Granatus, ladies and gentlemen of the Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson, Garwood. I guess pretty much, I probably have mostly comments, but I'm just going to run down quickly what it is on page 3, 795. Net is getting another $22,000 for $104,798 and 800. Neglia engineering is involved. There's numbers of 120,000, 116,000. 799 is CME getting 167,000. 801 on page 4, he's getting 75,000. Let's stick with that. But I mean, the reason why I'm bringing these up, all these contracts that you're giving out to all these contractors, architects, engineers, they're all big donors. I'm just going to run down what kind of donations they do, and you probably know this, and this could be the reason why you're like spending like crazy because the election's coming up. But NETA gave $77,000 to the freeholders and cronies in 4 years. 1 year they actually gave $15,000 to Hudak, Estrada, and Wright. Neglia gave $19,000 in 4 years. CME has given $106,000 in donations in 4 years. T&M Associates has given $94,000 in 4 years. Back in 2013, T&M gave $16,000 to Kowalski, Granatus, and Carter. I mean, these are big donors, and there they are showing up a couple of months before the election. Plenty of contracts, plenty of taxpayers' money to go around. I've asked many times to start doing something about pay to play, because the question is, who's really watching all this money flowing to them when there's these additions to the contracts? I mean, who's actually verifying all these numbers? I asked that last time, and you got outraged over it as to who's checking T&M when he's billing you for this hazmat contamination checking. And you were all outraged, but yet you couldn't answer who is actually double checking all this billing, if it's false or not. So you talk about the integrity of your employees. I do accept that much, but I mean, I'm just telling you, who's double checking? Who's double checking? Roth Aquino, that's right in front of me, 819, $33,000 he donated. And let me ask you about 819. He's special counsel for personnel matters, and you're increasing the amount of award by $60,000 for a total amount not to exceed $135,000. Nothing specific. Why, he's special counsel for personnel matters. Why is it increasing? I don't see any reason why it's increasing, so if somebody could answer that. The one right above it, 818, is actually Wiener Law Group. It's very similar. That's Senator Lesniak's old law firm, and in all these resolutions, he's getting about $400,000 in 3 resolutions. But anyway, it's a special counsel for labor and personnel, and you're increasing it by $85,000 for a total of $260,000. That's a troubling increase here, and I'm just wondering, why is that increase? Here's another one, Cologi Simmons, $18,000 in donations in 4 years. That's number 832. 833, another one, Dakotas, $125,000 in donations in 4 years. It's just these numbers are mind-boggling. Back to maybe a normal question. 835, internal position controls. I guess, could you give an overview of what that is? 838 and 839 is my normal question. It's collective bargaining agreements that you're signing, and I'm just wondering about the health benefits in there for both of them. Are they health benefits for life? Maybe Mike Yuska used to answer, but I'd like to hear something definite on that. 841, the closing of the juvenile detention center. I'll talk about that in the public speaking portion, but it'll obviously be after the fact, but I'm just going to point out that there's something fishy in these numbers that we just heard, and I hope you're not going to be gullible. So, thank you very much.
Passing. Reference number 819, Director Yaska.
Answering your call, Chairman, not anyone else's. I'd be, let's see, 819 is which one, Wiener, sir?
It's
Oh, it's Duquani,
Roth.
Wiener, and what was the other one?
Roth.
number
Roth.
1819, that's the only one.
Okay. As some of the people here might remember, as we go along with personnel things, this is one of the resolutions that we do in increments as not to, we're trying to keep the budget as low as possible, so we do multiple resolutions throughout the year. We actually used to do them in $10,000 increments, and this year we're probably only going to do the 2. For Ross Daquani, there have 15 current cases and hearings associated with those cases, and all of those cases are within their specialty, and that's why we use Roth Daquani. And the Wiener Group are still in the process of negotiating 13 collective bargaining agreements, including contracts with 6 law enforcement units and the largest union, Union Council 8. They also have unfair practice charges, grievances, arbitrations, and numerous personnel matters to settle before the end of the year. And as to there will be no lifetime benefits for any union agreements.
Thank you very much. County Manager, thank you, Mr. right there. County Manager, reference number 836.
Thank you, Chairman. There are 7 position controls in the departments of the Sheriff, Public Works, Public Safety, and Human Services.
Thank you very much, County Manager. Any other member of the public wishing to comment on any resolutions? Seeing none, may I have a motion to adopt Resolution 2018-789 through 2018-863?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, motion was made by Freeholder Mirabella, seconded by Vice Chair Kowalski. Clerk of the Board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen.
Aye.
Freeholder Estrada.
Yes.
Freeholder Garrison.
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak.
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo.
Aye to all, abstain from, actually looking at the wrong agenda. You come back to me, Mr. Clerk, I'll have the abstention.
I guess you'll pass and we'll move on, and I'll come back
Yes.
to you, sir. Okay. Freeholder Mirabella?
Aye.
Freeholder Williams?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski?
Yes.
Chairman Granados?
Freeholder Jallo. You good?
Yes, I'm ready. 218-795.
I'm sorry, one more time, 218-795.
795. Yes.
Thank you. And Chairman Granados?
At all.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative for all resolutions with the exception of Resolution 2018-795. I have 8 votes in the affirmative with 1 abstention.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Meeting is open to the public for the purpose on commenting on any governmental issue that a member of the public feels may be of concern to the residents of the county. Kindly state your name and town of residence for the record and adhere to the 5-minute time limit.
Good evening, Chairman Granados, ladies and gentlemen, Freeholder Board, Bruce Patterson Cranford. I said I was going to speak to the closing of the juvenile detention center. I'm agreeing that obviously it is a financial choice to benefit the taxpayers. The numbers that we saw on the chart does dictate a large facility like that is obviously unnecessary if you have a better choice of sending it out of the county, the juveniles. But the question that comes out is in the presentation by Director Taylor, she's talking about 3 years savings of $24 million. And to me, that's ridiculous. I mean, why did she pick 3? I mean, first of all, the first year, yeah, there's a savings, but the budget goes down, and that's it. Then there is no more savings. So why she picks 3, just to paint it to the public, if they're listening. I don't know if the public's listening, but I hope you guys are listening. But to paint it that 3 years, why not 4 years? Why not 10 years? 10 years, $80 million savings she could have claimed. I don't know what that was. She was painting something very wrong. It's 1 year savings, $6 million. Freeholder Mirabella actually brought up a great question that I was going to ask, is what about the debt service? That's $2 million a year, not included in that savings. It goes out to 2035. Thank you very much, Freeholder Mirabella.
Did you say I had a great question?
Sometimes, hey, you guys, take it to task, but I speak highly on occasion.
Thank you.
Rare, but on occasion.
I'll take
But
it.
anyway.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
take what you can get. Now, the debt service goes out to 2035, and from here, what is that? It's about 17 years times $2 million. So that's at least $30 million to $34 million in debt service we will be incurring while the facility is possibly closed that whole length of time. So the $6 million savings the first year is actually offset by 30, just rounded off, $30 million in loss towards the debt service. So we're looking at around a $25 million loss. No savings, no $25 million savings, $25 million loss. I don't want to see that in any of your political literature you may be handing out, that there's such a great savings. Yes, you did save some money, and the taxpayers are thanking you. Yes, thank you very much. The numbers, as you guys always, as are painted down here when I attend these meetings, it's just so wiggly. I'm still laughing about what I think it was a UCUA something, $270 million in savings. And that was right before the election. Right after the election, oh, I'm sorry, you made a mistake. It's only $35 million savings. But the election was over. You guys got elected, so la-di-da, and we move on. So, but thank you very much for at least doing, I guess, the due diligence. You're painting it wrong, but yes, we're looking at something that needs to be done. The only question actually is, where are all the correction officers? I mean, they should be here in mass, as it's happened when you close the engineering facility, when you close Runnels. But anyway, not that I'm starting anything, but thank you very much.
No problem, Mr. Patterson. Director Taylor?
Through you, Chairman, while I can understand the bit of confusion regarding a 3-year analysis, the primary reason behind that is that our pension bills are based upon a 2-year forecast. So the state gives us a pension bill. For example, in the bills that are due in April of 2019 are actually based upon a calculation that they've done 2 prior years. So if we were to do the calculation, if the state does the calculation again in 2019, we have to forecast out until 2021 that we're going to still have that obligation. We're not going to see a reduction. So future years, we will have greater reductions as associated with the shared services agreement, but I can't calculate that because I don't have the contribution rates.
Thank you very much, Director.
You're welcome.
Nancy Pivovar, Plainfield, New Jersey. I really came tonight to bring my friend here for an honor, but I saw 814 and 815, and I don't want to presume to speak for all the women in the United States, but I was unable to go down to D.C. today to protest. It was pretty historic what happened down in the Senate chambers, that a private citizen stood up against what's going on in this country, and I appreciate the fact that the county is spending money for sexual assault victims. We have a county seal that is violence against women. I'm sure that the statistics that they have issued 1 to 3 women and 1 in 6 men, I'm sure that those statistics are a lot higher. I'm sure that a lot of agencies like this, it's underreported. My family, it's been, there's issues that were underreported. People are going to come out of the woodwork now. We're not going to stand for this anymore, and I appreciate the fact that the county is spending some money to help sexual assault victims. Thank you very much.
Any other member of the public?
Sam Charles, Roselle. I did not plan on speaking today, but I think I would do the employees at juvenile detention a disservice by not speaking to you guys. I am no longer an employee there. I worked there for 3 years. I am now at another county location. The numbers, I don't think anyone in here can deny the numbers are amazing. But when you move past the numbers, you realize, number one, there's employees that's being impacted, and I don't think his question was ever answered. I don't think we ever got a number as far as how many employees was actually impacted. Not sure. I didn't hear it. Number two, Newark does provide a lot of opportunity, but so did Union County. The one thing that stood out over there was the pool. We don't have a pool. That's a big deal. One of the most important things that Union County provided, though, was that relationship. When you go into juvenile detention, one of the most important things for officers one of the most important things the officers did was try to build a relationship. Because once you get a relationship, you could impact them drastically. The first thing we did was find out where the kid was coming from. Hey, where are you from? I'm from Plainfield. Oh, I have a brother. I used to live in Plainfield. What school you went to? Right? Once I built that connection, I have a lasting impression on this kid. As soon as I guarantee it, as soon as they walk into Newark's facility, the first thing they're going to do is put a wall up. Because they're in Newark and they're from Union County. I guarantee you. That's happening in Hudson County coming over here. The first thing they're doing is putting a wall up. The most important thing, or most important job a juvenile detention officer does is trying to reform the kid. I'll tell you a quick story. When I was there, I met a kid from Plainfield. Let's say his name is James. James was a problem kid. He was in there for robbery. End up talking to him. As the weeks went by, I was talking to the kid, and eventually one day I asked him, I learned the story, we're talking, one day I asked him to clean the unit up. he cleaned it. It was Monday. I came into the same unit Tuesday. He said, yo, Officer Charles, can I clean the unit up? I said, no problem. By Friday, he cleaned the units Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. On Friday, I was walking up to his cell, 10:30 at night, and I told him, yo, James, I'm proud of you. I said, Officer Charles, what you tell me? Hey, I'm proud of you. He said, yo, Charles, no one ever told me I'm proud of you. The first time this kid was ever told he was proud, somebody was proud of him. This kid ended up being an honor student, got released, graduated from high school. He's now in an institution of arts. He wants to be a tattoo artist. The impact that these officers have is huge. And of course, Newark has officers, right? But it's gonna take them a lot longer for them to build that rapport. Another thing is, the employees, I understand that, and it's great that you guys said that there's gonna be programs and opportunities for them. But some of these guys knew this, that's all they knew, 15 years, 20 years. Know somebody that has 1 year left. She's been working there for 24 years. She has 1 year left. When I worked there, because of the nature of the job, we had to be a family. It wasn't just coworkers. We had to be a family. All right? So I just want you guys to consider that. Numbers are great, right? But I can tell you I'm going to close the jail, the adult jail, and the numbers going to be even amazing. Numbers are numbers. The impact that we have as Union County residents speaks a lot louder. And just to answer him real quick, the reason, and I speak to them, the reason that officers are not here is because they found out yesterday that this was happening today. This was going to be an agenda. No one's fault, but people at work, last minute. I decided to come because I was free. Again, I still talk to a lot of them, still my friends. I still work in Union County.
Thank you very much, Mr. Charles, for your comments. Just in reference to the comment or question in reference to how many total employees are located within the Juvenile Detention Center, there's a total of 82 employees that work at the Juvenile Detention Center. And also when it comes in reference to the Essex County facility, it's more than just looking at them having a swimming pool. You know, we wanted to make sure too that quality of service that Essex County will be providing is either comparable or at a higher regard to our facility. More than just a pool, they have all-day classes for individuals. They have vocational programs for individuals to attend the facility also. They have social workers that meet with each single juvenile 3 times a week within the facility. They have programs that they have a library. They have a movie room. They have recreational leaders that actually talk and interact with the individuals who are within the facility. They have officers too. And also when it comes to juvenile detention officers who are within our own facility, we're making sure through the county manager and the administration, the Freeholder board, that we help place and help as many individuals who are part of the employees at the Union County Juvenile Detention Center at Essex County also, and making sure that we're looking at any other opening possibilities that they can come to a county opening. So we're worrying more than just about the numbers or the financial, that it might bring to the county, but also looking at the whole sphere of everything and making sure that we're looking at our employees, we're looking at the quality of service for our juvenile individuals who are within the facility, and making sure that they're able to have the same level of service or higher. So thank you very much, Mr. Charles, for your comments. Any other member of the public wishing to comment?
Maria Elizabeth. I would like to kind of respond to her with the blue behind her, because I kind of, he had to talk. But anyway, so it's real funny, though, how she was talking about whatever that's going on in the Senate and everything, but I remember me being here. Everybody remembers whoever was on this board for, what, year or two ago when I came up here talking about the broken justice system, how they don't want us to give our statements, or they don't like to put a woman on the stand, and that's taking away our rights from putting these perpetrators behind bars. And also when I was over at the prosecutor's office advocating for my friend to go get her police report. And that council person still walking around, whatever, but yous all knew about it. I know yous all knew about it. Thank you.
Any other member of the public wishing to make comment? Seeing no one else, I'll formally close that portion of the meeting and move on to Freeholder reports.
Chairman.
Oh, sorry, I apologize for that.
Chairman,
You have a motion?
At this point, I'd like to make a motion to reconsider the vote.
Yes,
Second.
Second, all in favor, yeah? May I call the roll? Clerk of the board, please?
This is a motion to reconsider the vote. Freeholder Bergen?
I'm sorry.
This is in reference to Freeholder Jallo pointing out the wrong resolution when he excluded
Abstaining.
himself, abstained before. So he just wanted to make sure that's the correct number of the resolution he's abstaining from this time.
Correct, thank you.
Okay, yes.
Freeholder Estrada?
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson?
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak?
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo?
I abstain from 2018.
Look,
Oh,
Well, this is just for the motion to reconsider the vote.
just
So,
for the
yeah,
motion.
so-
Okay, aye.
Freeholder Mirabella?
Aye.
Freeholder Williams?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski?
Yes, but it's reconsider the vote and not suspension of the rules?
No, we're reconsidering the vote on the resolution so that he can
Freeholder Jallo,
abstain
okay.
from a specific resolution.
Yes.
Chairman Granados?
Aye.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative to reconsider the vote. I need a roll call for resolution so that he can abstain from the correct.
May I have a second for that roll call?
Second.
Clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Freeholder Bergen?
Yes.
Freeholder Estrada?
Yes.
Freeholder Garrettson?
Yes.
Freeholder Hudak?
Aye.
Freeholder Jallo?
I abstain from 2018 825.
825. Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Mirabella?
Aye.
Freeholder Williams?
Yes.
Vice Chairman Kowalski?
Yes.
Chairman Granados?
Aye.
Chairman, you have 9 votes in the affirmative for all the resolutions, with the exception of Resolution 2018-825. You have 8 votes in the affirmative, 1 abstention.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman.
Moving on to Freeholder reports. Freeholder Hudak?
Thank you, Chairman. Just a few brief comments this evening in regards to the Juvenile Detention Center. I want to, commend the county manager, Director Charles, and Director Taylor on this proposal. I don't say that without the knowledge that this will impact the lives of individuals who work in the county. But as individuals who are responsible with making sure and reevaluating government and at all levels here in the county, this seems to me to be a good first step in terms of looking at how we are handling corrections in Union County. And we have seen the transition in terms of the population in both the juvenile as well as the regular jail decrease significantly over the last few years. In many ways, that's a good thing. It's a byproduct of many of the criminal justice reforms that are ongoing, and I think we being Union County are not going to be the only county who will be looking at alternatives for correction and partnering with other counties nearby. And while I do agree with you, there is, Mr. Charles, that there is a inherent benefit of having people who live within the county and serving in a mentoring capacity. When we're dealing with people from Hudson, Union, Essex County, the distance is not terrible. That people are still relatively from the same area. That being said, I know Director Charles is going to do a good job making sure that the individuals who are in that program are well cared for. I do think this is the first step that and I think a necessary one that we have to take. And we've seen in recent years, we made the tough decision in terms of what we did with Runnels Hospital. We've made other tough decisions going forward. And we will, I'm certainly hear, I'm sure, from the employees, and I'm sure we will do the right thing for them in terms of making sure they have opportunities if they exist in Essex County. But this is a positive step. I would also, note Director Taylor is pretty good with her numbers. I didn't find anything funny about them, and I mean it's intuitive that when you realize a significant savings in 1 year, if you can extrapolate it out for 3 years, and it will continue because you're not going to rehire those people a year later. So this is a real savings. And I think that there's some good serious ideas in terms of what we can do with this property over the next few years once we transition it from its current purpose. I do, again, want to commend the county manager, and I think this is a very innovative idea, and we look forward to hearing more of them. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you very much. Freeholder Hudak, Freeholder Jallo.
Thank you, Chairman. I found myself hiking in a park recently and was reading a sign that had something to do with plants that had been introduced, I guess, to the United States in the 1800s, and how these plants were taking over, and they were invading on grass and plants that we have here in the U.S. and how bad it was, I guess, for the ecology, I guess, and the ecosystem. That's why I want to let the residents know that we at the county have this invasive plant strike force. And I just think I want to commend everyone involved in this, because I think this is a really cool thing where we have volunteers that'll join in a statewide effort to keep invasive plants from encroaching on the natural habitats and crowding out other species. I think this is a worthwhile program, and anyone who's interested can certainly call the Departments of Park and Recreation and see if they want to participate in that. I think this is great. I want to address the comments made by Mr. Sam Charles. Thank you for coming today. As stewards of the county, it is our obligation to weigh many competing interests, and we have found ourselves in this situation as a board on numerous occasions, where we've had to weigh the benefit of the entire communities and how tax dollars are spent and how we spend money and things that we pay for with our employees, who we also care about, who have jobs. And that's something that we always find ourselves in that situation far too often. I'm proud to say that in my time here on this board, I'm really proud that the Freeholder Board has always made an effort to ensure that the employees have been taken care of. I mean, it's just, I can't speak for everyone, I can't speak for everything, but no one has, and people come to me, right, and complain, but no one has come to me after it's done. A lot of people come to me while it's going on, but no one's come to me after it's all said and done and said, I'm worse off. A lot of times people find themselves and sometimes people find themselves in a better situation or something like that. I know we work diligently here to make sure that the employees are well taken care of, and we're going to continue to do that for this process as well. I really appreciate the perspective you gave with regard to the young people and kind of how there might be a turf issue and how that might affect their overall potential for rehabilitation. And I hope that our director takes that into consideration and how, if there's anything that we can do to address that. I know that this board, I wasn't able to participate, but I know members of this board have actually done a walkthrough already of the Essex County facility. I think that was done yesterday. That's just one way to show you that, this board is treating this situation very seriously. Like it's not a matter of, hey, we just got a great idea, we're going to slap it on the resolution and vote on it. There's been a lot of work, as you can see, behind the scenes and particularly on this board to make sure that this is a good decision that's being made and good for everyone else. So I really appreciate that perspective, and that's certainly something that, I think that we'll look into as well. So thank you. That's all, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder Jallo. Freeholder Mirabella.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to speak for a couple of minutes on the Route 22 safety shuttle that was enacted by this Freeholder Board many years ago. Just remind people who work along and visit the Route 22 corridor in Union, Kenilworth, and Springfield to make sure they use this shuttle for safety reasons. The safety shuttle provides pedestrians with a safe means to reach destinations on Route 22 without stepping onto the highway and endangering themselves and others. Since this service was implemented 11 years ago, it's provided over 700,000 rides to passengers. This service is free to the public and available 7 days a week. For a route map and schedule, visit ucnj.org /shuttle 22 routes, or you can call 908-659-5000 and visit Union County Paratransit. This is very important. Too many people try to cross that road because there's several miles between traffic lights, and we provided this shuttle. We put it in place many years ago, and it's just a good reminder to the public that that's available and people should use it. I want to thank the Deputy Administrator in Union for bringing that to our attention and the efforts to republicize it. Tammy Baldwin is a friend of the county, and she thought it was worthwhile recommunicating. I agreed on behalf of the rest of the freeholders. Next week is Columbus Day, and I want to just give a couple of comments on our 10th annual Columbus flag raising ceremony next Friday, October 5th at 1 o'clock on the front steps of the historic Union County Courthouse right on Broad Street in Elizabeth. This year's speaker is a good friend of mine and to Union County and to Italian Americans, Mike Guarino, who is of the Union County Columbus Parade Association and members of chapters of Unico District 10. Italian Americans continue to make extraordinary contributions to the rich, diverse fabric of America, a country we all love and which our ancestors helped discover and build. This day is as much about the achievements of Columbus as it is honoring the Italian heritage and being an American. So please come out next Friday for that ceremony. It's always a highlight of the year for me. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I'll conclude my comments.
Thank you much, Freeholder Mirabella.
Thank you for the music.
It's the wrap up. County Council is letting you know to wrap up. That's like the Grammys. That's it. Coming to an end. Let's go. Finish it off. Freeholder Garrettson.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. I want to just share a couple different things that I was able to do with several freeholders. It's been a very, very active month, but there was an African American Heritage Parade about 10 days ago or so in Elizabeth. We continue to do so many celebratory things. It was a great, great privilege this evening to see so many people honored. So as we celebrate diversity throughout the county, I just want us to continue to embrace so many things that are going on. I also want to share that not only do we do the Teacher of the Year, Hispanic Heritage Month this year, or month should I say, we also have had the talk of the suicide prevention. Is very near and dear to so many people because it can impact us all. So I just wanted to acknowledge those things. I also want to invite all of the freeholders to participate in the upcoming New Jersey Black Issues Convention. It's going to be actually next week, Thursday and Friday. So if you are available, the schedule, I believe it's been added to all of our calendars. So if you are available to come and celebrate the good work, there is an evening on Friday. All Black elected and appointed officials in the state will be in Newark at NJIT. So I would encourage us to be supportive. I happen to be the chair of the Black Issues Conference this year. So I do hope that I can get the support from my colleagues. Those are my comments this evening. Thank you.
Thank you much, Freeholder Garrettson. Freeholder Bergen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm not going to repeat, but I do want to join with the comments by freeholders Jallo and Hudak concerning how this board reviews and looks at the closing of the juvenile facility as concerns our employees. And it is something that was very much on our minds. I think that's enough said. They really did cover the topic. I do, though, want to go to, on that issue, one thing that Mr. Patterson said, where he talked about how for the next, 17 years, we'll be paying debt service on an empty building. That's a nice talking point, but it goes right past the point that this building is not going to remain empty. Certainly, the county will take some time and make a reasoned and knowledgeable decision on what we're going to do with this building. But we have absolutely no intention of having it sit there vacant for any longer than it has to for us to make that decision. And there are many options that our staff and the county manager are already looking into as to how best use this building. So I believe that the numbers put forth by Director Taylor are accurate. Certainly, if you look at them carefully, you'll see that there are costs in the first year that are not repeated in the second year and the third year. Certain costs go away. So the amount of money that we are saving over what we would have spent had we kept the facility open is accurate in the chart that Director Taylor put forth. And that's all I'm going to say on that. I do want to point out, in case people don't know, there's an election day coming up in about 39 days. Voter registration is still open until October 16th, 21 days before Election Day. So if you are not registered to vote, please get out and get registered right away. And starting on Monday, October 1st, Union County Clerk Joanne Rajapi's office is going to be mailing out vote-by-mail ballots. And they will be going out across the county to voters who have requested them or who are eligible under new law. If you haven't voted by mail in the past and you do want to vote by mail, then please get a vote by mail request form. It is on the county clerk's election website at unioncountyvotes.com. You can mail that in up until about a week before Election Day. It can be hand-delivered up until the day before Election Day. And it's an opportunity if you're going to be out of town, if you're going to be busy at work, or if you just don't want to have to worry about the weather on Election Day, you can get that taken care of in advance. So that is very important. This is an important election. There are events going on down in Washington that affect all of us every day, and we do have a Senate race and a House of Representatives race, so please make sure you vote this year. If you want to reach them by phone, the election division at the county clerk is 908-527-4996, or their email is ucvote@ucnj.org. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Freeholder Bergen. Freeholder Williams.
Thank you, Chairman. Just a couple of things. I do want to echo the comments of Freeholder Jallow and Freeholder Hudak regarding the Union County Juvenile Detention Facility and the thought that went into the decision regarding Essex County and Union County. But the only comments that I wanted to make was, the main comment I wanted to make was, since it is now fall, the weather's changing, but the county has a number of events, family-friendly events that are happening now and that will be continuing through the fall months into November. You know that we do the 4 Centuries in a Weekend history event at the Deserted Village and all the 24 or so historic sites around the county. And this coming Sunday, we're doing sort of an updated version of the Harvest Festival. It's called Rocking the Reservation, and it will be up at Trailside Nature and Science Center as usual from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. But there will be music and other kinds of activities, dance, hands-on programs for the family. There'll be a live DJ, and there still will be the pony rides and the pumpkin patch and all the other activities that folks enjoy from the annual Harvest Festival. While you're up there, you can also take advantage of the sensory-friendly trail that opened last month. And as others have said, please go to the website ucnj.org to find out more about our activities. I apologize. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder Williams. Freeholder Estrada.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think it's important to look at the historic impact of the juvenile detention center. Back about 11 years ago, the juvenile justice system came into Union County, and at the time requested that we build a new detention center with at least, it was the count of under 100. Now, this is a decision that we even challenged at the time because the numbers that we're looking at were extremely high in our assessments. But it didn't matter. We still had to build a facility, and we spent substantial amount of money because we were, in essence, forced to do that. Now, there has been a lot of changes in the juvenile justice system. One of them is the fact is of involvement in terms of the courts and in terms of overall incarceration or detention for these children. And therefore, the numbers have been reduced substantially. Why? Because the plan is to have a bigger involvement by the community to ensure that we change the manners how these young people conduct themselves. And that's something that's very important. Today, there are many, many different options that do not require the detention of a young person. And I think I look at those things extremely positive. And I don't think the trend is going to change. For example, right now they have a GPS electronic
Electronic
monitoring bracelets. They have all kinds of different mechanisms that they're using to minimize the incarceration part of this. Because I do, similar to what Officer Charles says, I think it is important to engage these young people in a positive manner, so hopefully they can turn around and do these things. And that's why our population a few days ago was only 16. Now, also, the interesting part is that the number of days that this individual spent in the institution has been reduced substantially over the years. And what we have is a big elephant, we call him a white elephant in Linden, that regardless what we do, when we open the door every day between providing power and people to work in the facility, where we don't necessarily control the number of individuals that we're going to get. But we know one thing, that the numbers have been reduced substantially. So in order to act in a prudent manner, I think it is important to understand what the future will bring in terms of the way that and the manner in which these individuals are held that has changed drastically. And that I believe that's what prudently the Board of Chosen Freeholder is trying to do. That's the reason why Hudson County sent their kids to us, because they saw this happening as well. And many other, for example, Passaic is already doing that already, and send them to different locations. I believe that Somerset County and I would say Morris County has already joined their operations as well, because the numbers will be reduced, and I see that's a good thing, because we need to engage our young people and really understand the things that they're facing. In today's world, where in society we have so much gang activity and everything else, and listen, kids go to gangs because they don't have that support that is so critical in our society. So hopefully this will work well, and also I know that there is a commitment in terms of making sure that our employees are not left out in the cold. I mean, we want to make sure that they have opportunities, and they do. They will have opportunities, and if they so need to be training other things, even though that I'm aware, and I participated in one of the meetings in Newark, that the fact is that there will be opportunities. I can't tell you that 100% of them will be placed, but I think a very good percentage of them will be. And the mere fact that most of them have been trained allows them to have a foot up in terms of other facilities. So, Mr. Chairman, that concludes my comment. Thank you very much.
Thank you much, Freeholder Estrada. County Council?
No comments, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
No problem. County Manager?
No comments, Mr. Chairman.
Vice Chair Plosky?
Thank you, Chairman. Just piggybacking on Freeholder Williams with the 4th Century's tour of our historic sites, just to acknowledge that we have one of the leading force at Drake House in Plainfield, Ms. Pivawar, who already came to the microphone, and I'm looking forward to that weekend, which is October 20th and 21st. Today, Freeholder Bergen and I had the pleasure of attending a press conference by Governor Murphy here in Union County at Cranford, Union County College's campus in Cranford. It was an honor to hear the governor say that he's putting $250 million new dollars into support for students in our community colleges. This is going to help 13,000 additional students. This is assistance that in general is in addition to aid that the students are already getting from other financial sources, but it's a step towards making community college free. It's now pretty affordable, but it will be even more so for the students that are able to take advantage of this. So Jamie Siegel was there too, and it was an inspiring event. Representatives of all 19 community colleges around the state were there, and I think it's everyone knows that this is a boost for our students who are doing well and will do even better with this. The governor also mentioned about New Jersey Transit. He had an off-topic question, and I will just report that he admits that New Jersey Transit is in bad condition. It was in terrible condition when he took office, and they are working on improvements. They're working on the positive train controls. Only 13% of the trains had the positive train controls when he started in January, and it's up to 60% now, and he fully expects that it's all going to be done at the beginning of next year. So we should be back to normal service by then, and then we will work on getting even better service. Watershed ambassadors. Teachers in grades kindergarten to 12 and organizers for local community groups can register for a free presentation that is about watershed environmental issues. If you're a teacher or work for a nonprofit organization, this is something that you can take advantage of. It's a 30 to 45-minute interactive program designed to help teachers, students, and community members learn how human behavior has an impact on the land and water around us. It offers practical solutions for the public, such as reducing the use of harmful chemicals in our yards and gardens, picking up pet waste, and not feeding the geese. We have a very knowledgeable young woman as watershed ambassador this year, Jennifer Hilminski, and you can reach her at 908-789-3209 or email her at watershed7@ucnj.org. Human trafficking is a persistent problem. Our support for prevention and response to domestic violence was mentioned tonight, and human trafficking, unfortunately, is another crime that is happening in the U.S. And I encourage you to attend the upcoming symposium on human trafficking on Friday, October 12th. It is presented by the Union County Office on Women, and experts with the Prosecutor's Office of Victim and Witness Advocacy will be there. Those who attend will learn how to identify the signs of human trafficking, learn how to report it, and a keynote speaker is someone from my hometown of Cranford. Her name is Laki Maisonneuve. She's the author of a book called A Girl Raised by Wolves, and she'll share her story of survival and healing. She's a survivor of sexual abuse as well as of breast cancer. Very inspiring story, and a strong woman who has important insights to share with us. So that is on Friday, October 12th as well, and that is 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. at the Union County College Auditorium in Cranford. That is free, but pre-registration is requested at Eventbrite. So if you go to Eventbrite, look for human trafficking. And that's all I have for tonight, Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Vice Chair Kowalski. Just want to make mention in reference to one of the Freeholder sponsored resolutions that were based off the whole entire Freeholder board. This past week, we had Joe Spiro, who was a 50-year employee with the County of Union, and he was actually the longest-serving employee in our history of the county building and county administration. So our hearts and prayers go out to Cheryl, his wife, and his entire family. They're great individuals who truly, before they used to have a restaurant in Elizabeth, but most importantly, always considered in giving back to the community and always helping out the community. So definitely our heartfelt prayers are with their family today and throughout the rest of their time. In reference to Hispanic Heritage Month, on Tuesday, October 2nd at 11 o'clock, the Union County Freeholder Board, through our Office of Culture and Heritage Affairs, is partnering up with Union County College at their Elizabeth campus to have a ceremony with Carlos Alomar, a world-renowned composer, guitarist, and teacher, as a featured speaker. This is a free and open public event, and it's an honor to welcome Mr. Alomar to join Union County residents in celebrating diversity. And I just want to congratulate and thank Union County College for kicking off celebrations here in the County of Union for part of Hispanic Heritage Month. And just another notation in reference to the county jail and the shared service agreement being created. I know we made mention of some individuals, but I just want to run through a couple of names also. We have our county manager, Ed Oatman, Deputy County Manager Wagner, Director Taylor, Director Charles, Claudia Martins, County Counsel Bob Berry, and Kathy Hatfield, who truly were working together for several months in making sure that the shared service agreement was up to par with what we expect on this Freeholder board. And we just thank you for constantly making sure that you had the well-being and safety of our juveniles within our facility, and also our county employees and county residents at large in your mind when doing so. So with that said, let me ask a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.